Dear students, my greetings to all of you. Today I welcome you all in e-lecture 14. In this lecture, we are going to discuss effects of water pollution on human and environment and various mitigation steps of pollution. Before starting today's lecture, let us do a quick recap of e-lecture 13 where we discussed what is water pollution. We learned about various types of water pollution as surface, groundwater and marine water pollution. We learned various causes of water pollution. Virtually all types of water pollution are harmful to the health of humans and animals. Water pollution may not damage our health immediately, but can be harmful after long term exposures. Different forms of pollutants affect the health in a very different way. In this slide, we discuss how water pollution is becoming a danger to human health. Heavy metals like lead, zinc, arsenic, mercury from industrial processes as carcinogens adversely affect marine life and human life. Lead causes lead poisoning, sometimes it causes organ failures and anemia, headache, loss of muscular strength. Cadmium contaminated water can cause painful diseases in bones and joints and cancer of lungs. Whereas mercury compounds in water are converted into another chemical, methyl mercury, by bacterial action, which can cause numbness of limbs, lips, and tongue, and sometimes deafness. This is known as Minamata disease. Minamata disease is given the name after the name of the bay, Minamata, which is located in Japan. Mercury was the waste product dumped into Minamata Bay of Japan by a chemical plant. 900 people died and around 2,500 people were certified having mercury poisoning. And this mercury poisoning is nowadays known as Minamata disease. Highly toxic chemical, bioaccumulated and biomagnified in shellfish and fish in that bay, which when eaten by a local population resulted into Minamata disease. Industrial waste often contains many toxic compounds that damage the health of aquatic animals and those who eat them. Some of the toxin in industrial waste may only have a mild effect, whereas other can be fatal. They can cause immune suppression, reproductive failure, or acute poisoning. Microbial pollutants from domestic and hospital sewage often results in infectious diseases that infect aquatic life and terrestrial life through drinking water. Microbial water pollution is a major problem in the developing world, with diseases such as cholera, hepatitis, and typhoid fever being the primary cause of infant mortality. Sulfates particles from acid rain can cause harm the health of marine life in the rivers and lakes. It contaminates and can result in mortality. So here, this is a picture of patients of Vinamata disease. This disease is a neurological syndrome. Now we discuss how water pollution is acting as a danger to our environment. Organic matter and nutrient causes an increase in aerobic algae and depletes oxygen from the water column. This is called eutrophication and causes the suffocation of fish and other aquatic organisms, and as a result fishes are dying in the water bodies. Presence of large amounts of nutrient in water results into the algal blooms. Algal blooms are the excessive growth of planktonic algae, and this leads to aging of lakes. Eutrophication creates detritus layer in lakes and produce shallower depth of surface water. We may lose our freshwater lakes due to this reason. Algal blooms restricts the penetration of sunlight, resulting into depth of aquatic plants and hence restricts the replenishment of oxygen. Few toxic substances like mercury and DDT present in industrial wastewater can undergo biomagnification in the aquatic food chain and causing serious harms. High concentration of DDT disturbed calcium metabolism in birds, which causes thinning of eggshells and force their premature breaking, eventually causing into population decline of them. There is low dissolved oxygen content in the polluted water, is eliminating mollusks, fishes, and planktons. However, some indicator species like Tubifex, which is an annelid worm, and some insects larvae survive in the polluted water. So presence of these species is indicating water pollution, so they are known as indicator species. Increase in turbidity due to pollution causes loss of coral reef. Now, how water pollution is affecting agriculture? Use of wastewater, unpolluted surface and groundwater, which contaminate crops and transmit diseases to consumers and farm workers. Deposition of harmful chemicals in soil, leading to loss of soil fertility. Here's a picture of a baby of blue baby syndrome. What is blue baby syndrome? Nitrate levels at or above this level have been known to cause a potentially fatal blood disorder in infants, those infants who are under 6 months of age. This is called blue baby syndrome. In this disease, there is a reduction in the oxygen carrying capacity of blood. So, now we know the root cause of water pollution and the fact that it can make human and animals so sick that it can even be fatal. The next life saving question is, what can be done to control water pollution? We can control water pollution in the following ways: environmental education. Individuals and the masses should be educated about the significance of quality of water and its impact on the economy, the society, and ecology. Sewage treatment. The household water should be treated properly to make it environmentally safe. Necessary steps should be taken to ensure that effective sewage treatment process is put in place and contaminated water doesn't get mixed with the freshwater bodies. Accountability of industrial use. The industrial setup should make provisions for treatment of waste materials and water for its safe drainage. Afforestation. Planting trees can reduce the water pollution to a large extent as they check surface soil runoff by running water, so we all should plant more and more trees. Soil conservation. This adds many inorganic substances in the surface and underground water. Soil conservation is therefore a very useful technique to reduce water pollution. Reduce use of chemical fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers add nitrates in water bodies. Use of compost, manures can help reduce the problem of eutrophication in the water bodies. Financial support. Government should make provisions for adequate funds to the civic bodies for water pollution control. The need of the hour is that the government should legislate and implement strict environmental laws for the protection of water bodies, treatment of wastewater, etc., and the violators of such laws should be given exemplary punishment. Wastewater treatment. This consists of removing pollutants from wastewater through a physical, chemical, or biological process. The more efficient these processes are, the cleaner the water becomes. Stormwater management is the effort to reduce runoff of rainwater or melted snow into streets, lawns, and other sites, and the improvement of water quality, according to the US Environmental Protection Agency (EPA). It is important to avoid pollutants from contaminating the water and helps to use water more efficiently. Green agriculture. Globally, agriculture accounts for 70% of water resources, so it is essential to have climate friendly crops, efficient irrigation that reduces the need for water, and energy efficient food production. Green agriculture is a need of the hour. This is crucial to limit the chemicals that enters the water, hence limiting the water pollution. Air pollution has a direct impact on water contamination as 25% of human induced carbon dioxide emissions are absorbed by oceans. This pollution causes a rapid acidification of our oceans and threatens marine life and corals. Preventing air pollution is the best way to prevent this from happening. Let us do our bit now. Always make sure to pick up your trash. Do not litter plastic bottles, aluminum cans, packagings, and other water bodies. And please be mindful when you are next visiting Anasagar or any water body, so remember to pick up your trash. Look for environmental friendly household cleaner. Do not dispose of batteries in the trash because lithium and other alkalis present in batteries can pose threat to aquatic life. Do not pour fat from cooking or any other type of fat, oil, or grease down the sink. Keep a fat jar under the sink to collect the fat and discard the solid waste when full. Do not dispose of household chemicals or cleaning agents down the sink or toilet. Do not flush pills, medicines, liquids, or powder medication or drugs down the toilet. For recommendation on proper disposal for all type of medical waste, we should follow all the rules. Run the dishwasher or clothes washer only when you have a full load. This conserves electricity and water. Use the minimum amount of detergent or bleach when you are washing clothes or dishes. Use only phosphate free soaps and detergents. Minimize the use of pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers. Do not dispose of these chemicals directly into the sanitary sewer. Go for a community cleanup. Spread awareness about it by discussing its effects with friends and family members. Check the leakage at home or wherever you're working. Turn off your running taps. Start by taking shorter showers. Hope you enjoyed this session. Happy learning. Thank you.